Hey guys, okay, one of my favorite things to do in this channel is to record riding experiences, riding on Grand Fondos and different places and recording them and getting some good angles on the rides, right? You've seen my videos. So I'm super excited to share this new partnership with Insta360. They're gonna up my game in shooting some really cool shots and really cool videos on my road bike. And nothing better to start this partnership with a new bundle that they're launching specifically for road cycling, for road bikes. Yes, they're launching now the Insta360 X4 with a bundle specifically for road bikes with integrated handlebars where you can install your bike computer, lights, and of course your X4 or any of your Insta360 action cameras. So I'm gonna share in this video a little bit about the X4, what you can do it on the bike, and of course, how can you mount it to your bike? I usually, when I ride and record and film things, I'm riding with one hand and the other hand I have to hold an action camera. And that, it's not always safe and it's not always the best way. For example, this last weekend, I did the Tour de Garden and we had a pretty strong pace. We were riding over 30 miles an hour and I wouldn't dare take my action camera from the pocket and record at that moment. But with this mount and the X4, that is this super cool camera that you can film 360 degrees, so you can take the shot first, then you frame it. So that's super interesting. You just have to press record, do your ride, and then after the ride, you can select the best angles and the best shots to put in your video. Before I get into the details of the camera and show it in action, let me show you this mount here. So this is the mount that they are, sorry about that. Yes, it's sturdy, very sturdy. Mount here, this is for an integrated bar stem. So fits a lot of the bar stems we have in the market today. I'm going to show you in a bit. I'm mounted to a bike, but you can install, they come with different mounts for Wahoo, Garmin, Karoo, whatever bike computer you have. And then here in the bottom, you don't have to drop your lights. You can still keep your lights and attach it to the bottom like a regular, any light that mounts to a bike mount. And here on the front, you have this screw, super sturdy. This is made of light aluminum, very sturdy to hold everything together. And of course, to install for me, the best camera to put here is the Insta360 X4. So super cool feature, and I love that a company like Insta360 is thinking of this, not only making an action camera, but different ways to mount it. And I think that's the difference, the differential of Insta360, not only on the technology that they're putting in all these cameras, but the many ways you can use and attach it to a sport and a bike and any action you're doing and getting through super cool angles and making super cool videos. So you can buy this mount separately. So if you already have the camera, you can easily go on their website, and I will leave a link in the description down below in case you're interested in checking out the mount, the cameras, and it is an affiliated link, so it's a way also to support the channel. So another thing that they're launching is the tail mount, and it's an upgraded version because you can now install the invisible stick in a much better way, very sturdy, on the rear of your bike. So it's like a third person filming you from the back, but actually there's no one there. So this is great when you're doing that adventure all alone, and I do this. Sometimes I want to explore that trail in the middle of nowhere, riding in a nice area that I'm alone. There's no one that day that will ride with me, and I just wish there was someone behind me, next to me, getting that cool shot that I'm riding around the lake and some super cool views. Well, this mount now, it's an upgraded version. You can install it, and the cool thing, you can install it to any carbon seat post. For sure, I wouldn't use this for a race because this is not intended for that, but it's great for solo adventures. All right, so this is Ben's bike, an Air Road CF SLX, and I installed the mount. Pretty easy, 2 screws under here, and it's pretty long, so you can adjust how far you want the mount to come from the bike. So I put my Garmin 530, but you can have a bigger Garmin and you just put the mount, install it a little further so you can put your bike computer underneath. You can put your light, screw your light, and here the Insta360 X4, and you just attach it. There's a screw here, and then to release it, you just unscrew and remove the camera if you need to. So pretty slick, very, very, very sturdy, and it stays there. Very, very good mount. And I'm going to install this camera now onto the back of the bike. So this is the tail mount. So attach the camera here to the invisible stick, and it's not stretched all the way. You can stretch further for sure. And then there is this clamp here that you attach to your rail of your saddle, and then it clamps onto the invisible stick. And then they send you a mount, and there are a few different options that comes in the kit with different screw lengths, because you see how wide this seat post is. So you can put on different width seat post depending if it's wider or shorter. My Conago, I put on my Conago, and it's half the thickness of this one. So they send a smaller screw so you can attach it, and then you can adjust the angle of the tail mount if you want it sideways or centered. The bike, of course, with this mount looks a little different, but man, it can create some great shots. Okay, let's get into the features of this camera and why I think this camera is perfect for cycling. This camera can record up to 8K, so more than enough resolution for amazing shots. And when the skies are blue and you're on that road, on a race, it's just the perfect shot. It has great quality, great stabilization. So there, on the ride, there was a section on the Tour de Garden that the road wasn't that good. You can look here on this shot that how my bike was shaking. And if you look on the horizon and if you look up front, it looks like the pavement is perfect, but everything was shaking. So you can see how the stabilization of this camera is awesome. So of course, the great thing is shoot first and frame it later. How I mentioned before, how many times I lost some awesome footage because I wasn't with my camera ready, or I didn't have the right angle, or it was hard to a moment where I was in a group ride and I couldn't get my action camera. With this one mounted to my bike, it's just easy. Plus, I like to do videos on YouTube, but I also have an Instagram account. By the way, if you want to check my Instagram account, I'm going to leave a link on the bottom. You can follow me there and check out some cool footage with the Insta360 X4. So that's also a thing that's really cool about this, because depending on the frame, it's a great shot and a great angle for YouTube, where you're going to have the horizontal frame. But if you want to, you can easily just have the frame for Instagram that's vertical and do a Reels. Now, a great upgrade from the X4 compared to the X3 is the battery life. It has 67% more battery life, so it lasts much longer. And that's great, especially if you're doing a long ride. Still, if you're doing a 3-4 hours, you're not going to be able to record the whole ride. Plus, that would be too much footage to go over. But I could easily, when I see that some action was coming in, or there was some nice scenery that I would like to frame it afterwards, I would just turn the camera on, it would start recording, leave it for a minute or two, then I would stop recording. So I would do that during the ride, and it was more than enough battery to record a fondo and, you know, have some good footage. By the way, I will be posting the Tour de Garden next week on YouTube, a great fondo that happens right here in the backyard of the shop. And it was a great ride. We had a lot of fun. A lot of people showed up. Now, their software and AI is incredible. Their app is super easy to use, super user-friendly. You can connect it to the app, you frame it, you can edit, you can export the images, you can export the videos, edit there. It works super great, super easy, and it's incredible how their AI can stitch the two images together. As you have one camera in the bottom filming 360 degrees, one camera on the top filming 360 degrees, and it stitches together. So it's just incredible how it does it. One thing I really wanted to do and have in my videos was the stats of my ride. So I wanted to share my speed, heart rate, and my power, and it does really easy. You can connect the camera to your Garmin or your Apple Watch, and it will seamlessly connect the both, and you have the option to add and then configure whichever stats you want to add to the screen, and you can even customize that. So it's a super cool feature if you want to show a really intense part of the ride where you're putting some crazy power, some crazy speeds, and that's what happened on this ride this weekend. So I'm able to share that whatever I want to do. So super cool, super easy to connect. That's a great feature. So I'm loving this camera. Of course, you can take everything with a grain of salt. I am now partnered with Insta360, but I would never bring in a camera to the channel if it wasn't good, because the core of this channel is getting great shots with action cameras while I show the trails, the rides, and the events I am part of. So when I was looking to these cameras and made the decision, yes, I think this is the perfect camera for my channel, for my rides. So I'm very happy with it. And this is not the only camera I'll have on my bike. I'll also have the Insta360 Ace Pro. That is the action camera I'll have on the back of my pocket. And whenever I can, I'll be able to use that to talk to you guys and get some other angles, some other shots. So this camera is just a great addition that can bring the viewer onto the bike, into the experience. And that's the whole thing, right, of my channel. It's the ride experience, is bringing people to experience cycling. And I think this camera will bring a whole new dimension of what I want to do with this YouTube channel. So let me show you this camera in action and what it can do. So this is my input on the Insta360 X4 and the new mounts and the different ways now you can attach it to your road bike, your gravel bike, your integrated bar stem. Super cool stuff. And again, if you're interested on Insta360 cameras or mounts, you can check on their website. I'm going to leave a link in the description down below or on my bio. You just click there and you can check them out. But as always, guys, I'll see you on our next ride experience.